One ordinary afternoon, 16-year-old Ryan walked into his school library, expecting nothing more than another quiet day of studying. Students sat silently at their desks, flipping through textbooks, taking notes, and preparing for upcoming exams. Outside, the streets were busy with cars, people, and the usual rhythm of city life. Everything felt completely normal. Then something felt different. A glass of water on a nearby table began to ripple. Books on the shelves trembled almost too slightly to notice. Several students looked around in confusion, unsure of what was happening. Within seconds, the floor shook violently. Books crashed to the ground. Ceiling lights swung wildly. Windows rattled as the entire building groaned under the force of the earthquake. Teachers immediately shouted for everyone to evacuate. Panic spread through the library as students rushed toward the exits. Ryan grabbed his backpack and ran toward the staircase. His heart pounded as the shaking grew stronger with every step. Cracks raced across the walls, and chunks of concrete began falling from the ceiling. Then a deafening crack echoed through the building. Before Ryan could reach the exit, part of the ceiling collapsed. Dust exploded into the air. Concrete and debris crashed around him, and in an instant, everything disappeared into darkness. Silence. Ryan slowly opened his eyes. His entire body ached, but somehow he was alive. He tried to move, only to realize that massive slabs of concrete surrounded him. There was just enough space to breathe, but not enough to escape. Dust floated through the tiny pocket of air around him. With trembling hands, Ryan reached into his pocket and found his phone. The screen was cracked, but it still worked. The battery showed only 18%. There was no signal. He switched on the flashlight for only a few seconds. The narrow beam revealed broken pipes, twisted steel bars, shattered concrete, and endless darkness beyond. Ryan quickly turned the light off. Every bit of battery could mean the difference between hope and complete isolation. Taking a slow, shaky breath, he leaned back against the cold concrete. The air already felt heavy with dust. He knew one thing for certain. No one knew exactly where he was, and the fight to survive had only just begun. Ryan leaned against the cold concrete, listening as the sounds outside grew a little louder. Then something changed. A thin beam of light slipped through a tiny crack above him. For the first time since the collapse, he could see more than darkness. Moments later, he heard a voice. "Ryan, if you can hear us, stay calm. We're coming for you." His heart pounded with relief. He wanted to shout back, but instead he answered with 3 gentle taps on the concrete. The rescue team heard him immediately. Outside, every movement was planned with incredible care. Large machines stayed at a safe distance, while rescuers removed heavy pieces of concrete by hand. Engineers carefully checked the damaged structure after each section was cleared, making sure nothing shifted unexpectedly. Minute by minute, the opening became larger. More daylight poured inside. Ryan raised his hand to shield his eyes from the bright light. After so many hours trapped in darkness, even a small amount of sunlight felt overwhelming. Finally, a rescuer reached through the opening and stretched out a gloved hand. "We've got you." Ryan reached forward and grabbed it. Slowly and carefully, the rescue team guided him out from beneath the rubble. As he emerged into the open air, the world felt completely different. Ambulances stood nearby with flashing lights. Rescue workers continued searching for other survivors, refusing to give up on anyone still missing. A thermal blanket was wrapped around Ryan's shoulders as medical teams checked his condition. Then he saw them, his parents. They ran toward him without saying a single word, holding him tightly as tears filled their eyes. For a long moment, nothing else mattered. Ryan looked back at the collapsed school, realizing how close he had come to losing everything. He hadn't survived because he was the strongest. He survived because he stayed calm, protected his energy, and never gave up hope, even when he couldn't see a way out. Sometimes survival isn't about escaping immediately. Sometimes it's about believing that someone is still searching for you, even in the darkest place imaginable. And sometimes the smallest sound, 3 quiet knocks beneath the rubble, can become the sound that saves a life.